For thousands of years, Asgard had stood beyond the reach of ordinary worlds. Its golden towers rose above the clouds. Its warriors guarded the realm day and night, and the Bifrost connected the kingdom to the countless worlds beneath its protection. Asgard had survived frost giants, dark elves, monsters, and armies powerful enough to threaten entire realms. But on this day, something different approached. There was no army, no fleet, no warning from another kingdom. There was only a strange disturbance beyond the edge of the Bifrost. Heimdall stood alone upon the rainbow bridge, his golden armor reflecting the sunlight. His eyes suddenly narrowed. Something was wrong. He could see across unimaginable distances, but whatever was approaching seemed to exist outside the normal boundaries of space. Then the sky changed. A thin red crack appeared above Asgard. Heimdall immediately drew his sword. The crack widened. Energy poured through it. The peaceful sky became covered by a swirling vortex of red and black light, and the force coming from the opening was so powerful that the Bifrost itself began to tremble. Heimdall stepped backward. What manner of creature comes through the heavens? The answer appeared moments later. A massive figure stepped through the rift. He was enormous, blue-skinned, and heavily muscled. Ancient armor covered his body, while strange technological mechanisms surrounded his shoulders and arms. His eyes burned with cold intelligence. He did not look around in fear. He looked around like a conqueror inspecting territory that already belonged to him. Apocalypse had arrived. He slowly descended toward the Bifrost. Heimdall raised his sword. "You stand upon sacred ground." Apocalypse looked at him. "Then your sacred ground has failed to keep me out." Heimdall attacked. His sword came down with tremendous force. Apocalypse caught the blade with one hand. The Asgardian guardian stared at him in disbelief. Apocalypse slowly closed his fingers around the weapon. The sword shattered. Heimdall barely had time to react before Apocalypse struck him across the chest. The impact launched Heimdall across the Bifrost. He crashed against the golden structure and fell to one knee. Apocalypse looked toward the distant city. Interesting. Then he continued forward. The alarm bells of Asgard began to ring. Warriors poured into the streets. Sif was among the first to reach the Bifrost. She saw Heimdall struggling to stand. "What happened?" Heimdall pointed toward the sky. "Warn the kingdom." Sif looked upward. Apocalypse descended slowly through the clouds. His enormous figure cast a shadow over the golden city. The Asgardian warriors surrounded him. Sif stepped forward. "You will go no further." Apocalypse looked at the warriors around him. "You are prepared to defend your kingdom." Sif raised her sword. "With our lives." Apocalypse smiled. "Then you will learn how meaningless life becomes when faced with true power." The warriors charged. Apocalypse moved. His strength was terrifying. He seized one warrior and threw him across the courtyard. Another attacked from behind, but Apocalypse turned and struck him into a stone pillar. Sif fought harder than the others. Her sword struck Apocalypse's armor repeatedly, forcing him to defend himself. For several moments, she held her ground. Then Apocalypse caught her blade. He twisted. The weapon flew from her hand. He grabbed Sif by the armor and lifted her from the ground. "You possess courage." Sif struggled against his grip, but courage without power is merely a slower form of defeat. Before Apocalypse could strike, thunder exploded above the city. Everyone stopped. A massive lightning bolt descended from the heavens. Apocalypse released Sif. The bolt struck the ground. Smoke and dust filled the courtyard. Then a figure emerged. Red cape, long blonde hair, Mjolnir in his hand. Thor had returned to Asgard. The Asgardian warriors immediately stepped aside. Thor looked at Heimdall, then Sif, then the destruction around him. Finally, his eyes settled on Apocalypse. Thor's voice was calm. "You have caused enough destruction." Apocalypse stared at him. "So you are Thor?" Thor tightened his grip around Mjolnir. "You know who I am? I know the names of those who possess power." Apocalypse took another step forward, "And I know that the gods of this realm have grown comfortable." Thor's expression hardened. "You have mistaken confidence for weakness." Apocalypse smiled. "Perhaps." He looked around at the Golden City. "For ages, your people have believed Asgard was untouchable." His eyes returned to Thor. "I have spent thousands of years proving that civilizations built on power eventually encounter something stronger." Thor raised Mjolnir. "You speak as though you have conquered worlds. I have conquered more than worlds." Apocalypse's voice became colder. "I have watched civilizations rise, worship their gods, and fall into dust. I have survived every age that was meant to destroy me." Thor stepped forward. "Then perhaps you have survived too long." Lightning gathered around Mjolnir. The clouds above Asgard began to rotate. Apocalypse armor responded, glowing with strange blue energy. The warriors backed away. Thor looked at him. "Leave Asgard." Apocalypse laughed. "No." Thor's eyes narrowed. "Then you leave me no choice." He launched himself forward. Mjolnir struck Apocalypse's chest. The impact created a shockwave that tore across the courtyard. Apocalypse was thrown backward, smashing through a massive stone structure. The Asgardians erupted in cheers. Thor landed and lowered his hammer. For a moment, everything was silent. Then the rubble moved. Apocalypse emerged. His armor was damaged. Dust covered his body, but he was smiling. Thor's expression changed. Apocalypse wiped the blood from his mouth. "Excellent." He looked directly at Thor. "You are stronger than I expected." His body began changing. His muscles expanded. His armor shifted. Energy flowed through his veins. Thor raised Mjolnir again. Apocalypse clenched his fists. But now, his eyes began glowing. "I want to see how strong the God of Thunder truly is." Thunder exploded across the heavens. Apocalypse charged. Thor charged toward him. Their collision shook the foundations of Asgard, and far beneath the Golden Kingdom, something ancient responded to the impact. A deep rumble traveled through the ground. Thor did not notice. Apocalypse did. For the briefest moment, his eyes shifted toward the palace. He had felt it. Something was sleeping beneath Asgard. Something powerful. Something he had crossed the realms to find. Apocalypse smiled. The battle with Thor was only the beginning. The first collision shook Asgard. Thor and Apocalypse crashed through the golden courtyard, their bodies moving with such force that the ground fractured beneath them. Thor swung Mjolnir. Apocalypse blocked the hammer with his forearm. The impact sent a shockwave through the palace walls. Thor attacked again and again. Every strike carried the power of thunder. Apocalypse refused to fall. Instead, he adapted. His armor shifted around his body, absorbing the force of Mjolnir. Thor noticed. "What manner of sorcery is this?" Apocalypse smiled. "Not sorcery." His body expanded. "Evolution." Apocalypse struck Thor across the chest. Thor flew through several stone pillars before landing heavily. The Asgardian warriors rushed forward. Thor raised his hand. "Stand back." He slowly rose. Blood ran from the corner of his mouth, but Thor smiled. At last, he raised Mjolnir toward the heavens. Dark clouds swallowed the sky. Lightning began spiraling around the hammer. Apocalypse watched with interest. "Yes." Thor's eyes began glowing. "Now you see the power of Asgard." A gigantic lightning bolt descended. Thor unleashed it directly into Apocalypse. The entire courtyard disappeared beneath a storm of white lightning. For several seconds, Apocalypse vanished. The Asgardians stared in disbelief. Then a figure emerged from the smoke. Apocalypse. His armor was damaged. Parts of his skin were burned, but he was still standing. Thor's smile disappeared. Apocalypse looked down at his damaged body. Then something changed. The wounds began closing. His armor reconstructed itself. His muscles expanded. His eyes burned brighter. Thor realized what he was witnessing. "You grow stronger from my attacks." Apocalypse smiled. "Every battle teaches me." He raised his hand. A massive blast of energy struck Thor. Thor crossed his arms, but the force threw him across the courtyard. He crashed against the steps of Odin's palace. Thor rushed toward him. "Thor!" Thor pushed himself upright. "I am fine." Apocalypse began walking toward them. "Your strength is impressive." He looked toward the palace, but Asgard possesses something far greater. Thor's expression changed. "What do you seek?" Apocalypse stopped. "The power beneath this realm." Thor stared at him. "There is nothing beneath Asgard that belongs to you." Apocalypse smiled. "You don't even know what your own kingdom protects." The ground suddenly trembled. The golden towers shook. A deep rumbling sound came from beneath the city. Thor looked toward the palace. Apocalypse turned toward the disturbance. For the first time, there was genuine anticipation in his eyes. Now, he extended his hand. The ground cracked open. A pulse of ancient energy erupted from beneath Asgard. Every warrior fell silent. Thor felt the energy pass through him. It was older than his father's reign, older than the walls of Asgard. Apocalypse stared into the opening. "Yes." His voice became almost reverent. "I knew it was here." Thor stepped between Apocalypse and the opening. "You will not take another step." Apocalypse looked at him. "Then stop me." Thor raised Mjolnir. Apocalypse transformed his arms into enormous blades of living energy. The two warriors charged again. Their weapons collided. Thunder exploded across Asgard. The palace shook. The Bifrost trembled. And far beneath the Golden Realm, something ancient opened its eyes. Neither Thor nor Apocalypse noticed. But whatever slept beneath Asgard had awakened, and it had been listening to every word.